Morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're tuning in from. I'm your host, TJ. Welcome to the Long Game. This channel is about long-term trading, higher time frame thinking, and staying patient in a market that rewards discipline. Let's go into this week's market perspective. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are tuning in from. I'm your host, TJ, and welcome to the Long Game. So today we're going to be going over AUDNZD. As you all know, I've said previously before, I'm a swing position trader, and I mostly trade the Asian pairs. So just looking at this from a monthly perspective so far, I go back to past history. I see that price had been going up since, that's a long time ago, December of 2005. It continued in this uphill till about April of 2011, before it started making its descent down. And we see that here we have a break of structure here. We have the structure, and then we had a break of structure right over in this area here around April of 2013. And price continued to go down, right? So, okay, we see that over there. Just giving some past history on it. It continued to go down until it starts going into this sideways motion around, February 2014. It going into this sideways motion. Continued on this sideways motion for a while. But, I did come in here already and I seen that this price was, I seen this right here, this little uptrend right here. I connected these two points, little slight uptrend here. Possibly price could come back down and test this area sometime in the future, this trend line sometime in the future, see if it holds up, right? Just for future reference. More recently, I see that price broke out of this structure. So the top of this structure here, we had a break of structure around, maybe October, November of last year, 2025. Okay, all right. So we're in the uptrend again. Wow. Okay. So where could price possibly be going to since we're in this uptrend? So that's all I really see on here on the monthly time frame. I'm going to get rid of these real quick. I like to keep as clean chart as I can. And we're going to go down to the weekly. What do I see on the weekly? Price is in uptrend. I see it has did some pullbacks here more recently over in this area, I do see this big wick here. Make that out. I see this wick here. Price is rejecting the area. Possibly could be going back down to do a deeper retracement from a higher time frame perspective. Possibly the monthly. So we go back to the monthly. We see it's just been going up. It hasn't really done a deep. Well, honestly, it hasn't really done any type of pullback. Honestly, for the most part. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that for when price does, from a monthly perspective, do maybe a deeper pullback. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But so far, from a weekly perspective, it looks like it's rejecting this area. So we're going to go down to the daily. I'm going to get rid of that. Like I said, keep a clean chart. And I do see that here we have more on the daily. We can see a more cleaner uptrend. I have a lot of rallies and pullbacks, rallies and pullbacks, rallies and pullbacks, rallies and pullbacks. I like that. And I see this. I'm going to mark this up my daily. Connect this point here. We're going to connect it. And I'm going to make this line thicker. Yeah, I like that better. So we connected them 2 points. Where is that going? Okay, yeah. Right. I like this. This looks good so far, right? So we have our daily trend line here. All right. And I do see this support and resistance. I see recently around this long engulfing candle here just broke out of this support and resistance area. I'm going to mark this up on daily. So this is a support and resistance area. We rallied out of that. We have this long engulfing candle that broke out of this area here. And it looks like price is coming back down to retest this area. I like that. That looks good. So from a daily perspective, okay, all right, let's see. So I'm going to put a fib on there. I'm going to connect this lowest point here, highest point. Let's see how far this is pulled back so far. Okay, so if we were to really pull that in, Price is not quite at the 0.382 area. I would like for it to come down a little bit more and go deeper into this area. That would be great. And hold this area here that it previously broke out of. That would give me even more confirmation that it's going to continue up. So that's what as of right now, I can see that's what I would be looking for. Okay, so price rallied, broke out. Now it's coming back down to test this area that it previously broke out of. So that's what, so far, based on my analysis, this is what I'm looking for. So I would be looking more for I wanted to come down deeper into this, hold this area, and then continue up. Looking for my for price to support this or reject off of the 0.382 area. That would be great. So let's see my bias. That so far, bias number. We'll do that. Bias number 1. Prices in line with. I'm gonna do this with monthly. Lord, let me just spell it out. Monthly, weekly, monthly and weekly, daily, broke a support resistance area, and possible retest of the area. And we're gonna put, let's see, around what is this around about? Hopefully I wanted to come back down here, so around 1.1692 or the 38.2% on the fib. So that would give me more confirmation if it comes down to the deeper down into this area, matching up with my support and resistance and my 38.2 on the fib, and holds this area. That's great confirmation and confluence that, okay, price is holding, it's going to continue back up. I'm looking for an entry there. I love that. If not, it could come deeper. Bias number 2, it could come deeper. So I do see this area here. All right, we could come down here more in line with the 0.8 area on the fib. I don't know if I see that happening. It's hard to say, but you never know with price. That's just another bias, right? It could come down deeper. Bias number 2. Let's see. Could pull deeper to the 61.8% on the fib, or around, let's see, around the 0.630 area. I will let you know before going back up. It could pull around this area too. I don't know. My instincts is telling me, I don't see that happening, but you never know, So we're gonna watch this and see over the next when the market opens up later today. We're gonna see that, right? Or we could have, since price is showing on the higher time frame, I did see this wick here, this long wick from the weekly. That's a big rejection there. Big rejection. So we could see some consolidation happening coming up. We could see that happening. Bias number 3, we could see, let's see, bias number 3. Based off weekly rejection candle, we could be going to consolidation. Can't even spell sometimes. I feel like that's wrong. I don't know why I feel like that's wrong. Oh man, it ain't gonna correct me. Anyway, we could be going to consolidation. Just from a higher standpoint, from the monthly, weekly standpoint, we did know. If I go back to my monthly, that price has been going up for about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7, 8 months without no real pullback. So the first area it could pull back to um, from a higher standpoint, if I pull out my handy dandy box, we'll go to the monthly. We can have this area here. Didn't really see no real pullback back to this area, or it could go. I don't know if it will go that deep, but I did not see this here. It's not the best area, but it could go down there here. So if I put a fib on here from a monthly perspective, here to this high here, and let me that's not the fib I want to get. I want to right. Okay, so we can see that. So if it comes back down to this area here, that's more in line with the 23.6 on the fib. If it comes down even further here, that's more in line with what I call my golden area, the 50%, or even deeper, the 61.8 area on the fib from a monthly perspective, right? If we have that, but that could take a while to happen. That could take, it took 8 months for this to rally up. That could take a while to happen. Price does not just stop and turn around on a dime. We're going to see some consolidation happening on a higher time frame. Could be a big consolidation area, just like with what was that one trade dollar and yen. It was consolidating on the monthly, and we can see that happening, right? We'll definitely see the break of this daily time frame here. If it starts consolidating, you'll see a lot of it. Probably would just start bouncing up, establishing its boundaries here before it breaks out of this daily. You just see this just keep happening. However long that it decides to consolidate for, but we'll definitely see the break of that trend happen, of this daily trend happening, before it continues. It makes its descent down, right? So that's something else that could happen from a longer standpoint. Let me erase all of these. I love giving visuals, Love giving visuals. Let's see. We're going to erase all of this. Yeah. But for the more short-term future, what I'm looking for right now, what I'm seeing right now happening is where's my fib that I had on earlier? Boom. This fib here from a daily fib. I want price to come back down into this 38. Where's my words? Oh, there you go. This 38.2 area on my fib. That's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. So in the next week or so, this is what I'm going to be looking for it to happen, just based off my number one bias. But I'm always, I never marry my bias. If that does not play out, we're gonna play it by what the market is telling us it wants to do. I'm not going to marry that bias just because this is what I see right now. So when the market opens, it could be totally different. It could open and gap all the way down here for all we know, or even further. You never know. So just in a couple of weeks, this is what I'm looking for. Bias number one, price to come down, since price is in conjunction with the weekly, the monthly and the weekly, and the daily is all in conjunction. It's in a slight pullback right now. I'm waiting for it to come back down to my 38.2 level and hold to continue back up. If not, we're just going to see what it plays out to. So anyway, that's all that I have for today, just based off what I see here on AUDNZD. I hope that you guys have a great trading week coming up. And, don't let the market defeat you. It does the same thing over and over and over and over. This is what I tell my mentees all the time. All the time. Look, I'm trying to clean this area up here. But it does this over and over and over all the time. So, have a great trading week, and we're going to get up out of here. Be blessed.